I hope you all understand autotrophic nutrition. Now we are going to discuss our second type of nutrition, that is heterotrophic nutrition. So heterotrophic nutritional criteria is basically followed by heterotrophs. Now what is heterotrophs? Heterotrophs are animals which are depend on other animals or autotrophs for their food requirement. So heterotrophic nutrition having different types like saprophytic heterotrophic nutrition, parasitic heterotrophic nutrition, holozoic nutrition. So what is saprophytic nutrition? Saprophytic nutrition means this organism, they digest their food outside their body with the help of their enzymes, and once their food get broken down outside their body, then they use that material as a food, or they derive their nutrients from that food which is broken down outside their body. Okay, so for example, fungi, they follows the saprophytic nutritional criteria. Then come to parasitic nutritional criteria. Parasitic nutritional criteria means some organisms, they derive their nutrients, they derive their food from the host, from the other animal without killing them. Such type of nutritional criteria is known as parasitic nutritional. Examples are ticks, amoeba, leeches. These are the best example of parasites. Now, holozoic nutritional criteria. So, this holozoic nutritional criteria is performed by or followed by amoeba, paramecium. How they perform it? So, amoeba having irregular body shape. So when it found the food particle in its surrounding, so it used its pseudopodia, a finger-like projection which are extended out from the cell of the amoeba. So body of the amoeba, they covered that particle with the help of pseudopodia and they form a food vacuole. In that food vacuole, they secrete some enzymes to digest this food material, and once this food material get broken down inside this food vacuole, then this simplified food is get absorbed into the cell of the amoeba with the help of cell surface, and the undigested material is get diffused from the amoeba body with the help of cell surface only. This is what holozoic criteria, holozoic nutritional criteria. So amoeba use pseudopodia, whether the paramecium use cilia for the nutrition. Now we are going to discuss nutrition in human being. So our alimentary canal takes part in a nutrition. This alimentary canal is an extended tube which start from our mouth and end with our anus. So this alimentary canal having part of the different organs which come together and form our complex digestive system. So first of all, in our alimentary canal, there is tongue, buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, gallbladder, bile duct, liver, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine. These all organs are the part of alimentary canal which participate in our nutrition process. So first of all, we eat different type of food. We eat soft food, we eat hard food like hard laddus. So for the proper digestion, this food have to be get cut into fine particle, get divided into fine particle, and this criteria is fulfilled by the teeth present in our mouth. They chew this food and they break down these large particles into the smaller similar size of particles. Then these particles have to be get wetted, and this criteria is fulfilled with the help of saliva. Saliva is not just water, but it looks like water, but it is not water. It is a fluid which is secreted by the salivary gland which are present in our mouth. And this saliva get mixed with our food particle thoroughly with the help of one muscular or organ, that is tongue. Okay, so tongue help to weight our food particle or mix them thoroughly. Now this saliva having a important biocatalyst. Biocatalyst means the enzyme which are needed to broken down the food material into the simpler form. So this saliva having the important biocatalyst, that is salivary amylase. This salivary amylase with the saliva get mixed with the food and start digestion in our mouth. Okay, so digestion started from our mouth also. So this salivary amylase, it start to breaking down the starch, the sugar present in our food, and it simplify that starch in the form of glucose, or it convert the starch in the form of simple sugar like glucose. Okay, then then we engulf this food, or our food get passes from the food pipe, that is esophagus, into the stomach. Now we have to pass our food from one organ of, or from one part of alimentary canal to the next part. So for this purpose, our muscles of alimentary canal, they contract rhythmically. These movements are known as peristaltic movements. These movements are very much necessary because they help to push our food in forward direction. They help to push the food from one part of the alimentary canal to the next part of the alimentary canal. Okay, so that's why these peristaltic movements are important. Then this food enters in our stomach. Now, stomach having gastric glands which release some gastric juices, and stomach having hydrochloric acid, pepsinogen, and mucus. So hydrochloric acid, it makes the medium acidic and aid in the digestion. Okay, hydrochloric acid also act as a defense mechanism of our digestive system by killing the bacteria which comes along with the food material. Then hydrochloric acid also help to convert the deactivated pepsinogen into the active form pepsin. Okay, and then mucus. Mucus help to protect the soft inner lining of our stomach. Then from stomach, our food passes towards the small intestine, and food enter into the small intestine from stomach in very small portions with the help of sphincter muscles. So with the help of these sphincter muscles, our food entered into small intestine in very small proportions. Okay, now our food is in acidic condition. When food get entered into the small intestine, it is still in acidic condition. To activate the other enzymes which are coming from the pancreas, we have to transfer or convert this acidic medium into alkaline medium, and this criteria is fulfilled by the bile juices which are coming from the liver. Okay, so our small intestine always receive the secretions from liver and pancreas. Always keep it in mind. Now, what is small intestine? Small intestine is nothing but a extensive coil tubes like structure which is fitted in our body with help of extensive coiling. So length of the small intestines is depend on what type of food that animal consumes. For example, herbivores, they consume grass which having cellulose, and cellulose is very difficult to digest. That's why these animals, these herbivores like cow, they having the longer small intestine, whereas the carnivores like tiger, they eat meat, and meat is easier to digest as compared to cellulose. That's why carnivores having short small intestine. Okay, so now turning towards our main point, human digestion. So this food with the help of sphincter muscle enter in our small intestine. Small intestine receive the secretion from liver and pancreas. Now our food is in acidic condition. So to convert this food in alkaline medium, liver secrete a bile juices which having bile salts which convert this acidic medium into alkaline medium. Okay, then it also act on a fats. So fats are present in our small intestine or in our food in a form of large globules, and these bile salts, they broken down these large globules of fat into small globules. Okay, this is same like emulsification of fats. Okay, then next come the pancreatic juices. Now our medium is alkaline, so pancreatic juices can work easily. So pancreas release trypsin and lipase. This trypsin basically digests the proteins and lipase acts on the emulsified fat and it produces fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, so after all this digestion, our small intestine, it having a small projections that called as a villi. These villi are present at the inner lining of small intestine which are rich in blood capillaries. So these villi absorb the nutrients from the digested food, and with the help of these blood capillaries they carry or transport this nutrient to each and every part of our body, to each and every cells present in our body. Okay, and finally after complete digestion, the remaining undigested food material is get transported into the large intestine, and in large intestine some villi are also present in large intestine which reabsorb the excessive water present in that undigested food, and then after reabsorption the remaining waste material is get excreted out with the anus. So this is all about heterotrophic nutrition which processed in a human alimentary canal. I hope you all understand it well. Thank you.